So over the last few years, I have reviewed multiple profiles of tech professional, engineers, founders, and there are certain common factors which I have seen is not all these profiles, when they say that they got rejected, it's not because they were not talented enough. It was because they could not present themselves clearly. Talent and readiness are not the same thing. Let that sink in. Understand that if you are talented, and I've seen a lot of talented people, they have done amazing work, good product designers, good entrepreneurs, good engineers, but they are not ready. What does that mean? Being good at your job and proving that you are a leader are two completely different things. So understand that. Another problem is when an assessor sees your profile, if he or she does not understand within 30 seconds what you're trying to say or what you're trying to prove, they are not going to read through that. The strongest applications tell one story, not five. So this is again which we see a lot of time. When you apply for application, you try to fit in a lot of things in the single documentation, or you try to tell multiple things. Do not do that. Just focus on one single thing which you are excellent at and completely focus on that. That will help you in getting your application moving forward. Hi, my name is Abhishek and I am a global talent visa holder. I'm also a founder of Horizon Bloom Consulting. So over the last few years, I have reviewed multiple profiles of tech professional, engineers, founders, and there are certain common factors which I have seen is not all these profiles, when they say that they got rejected, it's not because they were not talented enough. It was because they could not present themselves clearly. So today I'm going to break down exactly why that happens, the patterns, the mistakes, and how you can overcome those difficulties if you're also applying for Global Talent Visa. So let's start with the bigger picture. Let's understand what are some of the patterns, what are some of the problems which people face. Pattern number one, talent and readiness are not the same thing. Let that sink in. Understand that if you are talented, and I've seen a lot of talented people, they have done amazing work, good product designers, good entrepreneurs, good engineers, but they are not ready. What does that mean? Being good at your job and proving that you are a leader are two completely different things. So understand that, and this is a common pattern which I see quite often. Pattern two, the strongest applications tell one story, not five. So this is again which we see a lot of time. When you apply for application, you try to fit in a lot of things in the single documentation, or you try to tell multiple things. Do not do that. Just focus on one single thing which you are excellent at and completely focus on that. That will help you in getting your application moving forward. Pattern number three, assessors are pattern matching machines, not detectives. Again, another problem is when an assessor sees your profile, if he or she does not understand within 30 seconds what you're trying to say or what you're trying to prove, they are not going to read through that. So make sure that you do not put too many jargons, do not put vague language, and be very specific of what you have done, what you're doing, and what you want to achieve. Now let's get specifically and understand what are some of the mistakes which a lot of tech people, tech entrepreneur, product engineers, people, when they apply for GTV, they make this simple mistakes. Mistake number one is confusing service-led experience with product-led experience. Now understand that if you have spent your career in IT service industry, you are either in service or are in product. And if you're going to portray, if you're working in a service company where you are working for your clients, you are working on a project, you are working on certain timelines, the moment that project stops, your job stops or the company billing stops, that is called as a service-led company. Whereas on a product-led, you have created a product. It could also be from a client side. So for example, if you are working in a service-led company, but you are working on a product for your client, or if you are working on a product internally for your company which is used by users, it could be enterprises, it could be B2C as well, where they pay you or they pay for the product, not for the time, not for the billing hours. That is called as a product-led company. Here is a quick test. What you can do is, did your company sell hours or did it sell access to a product? If the answer is product, you are in a product-led company, and if the answer is no, you are in a service-led company. Mistake number two, team achievements presented as individual achievements. So a lot of people, when you work in a bigger company and there are huge teams, when you apply for a GTV, you write, we did this or our team did this. That is not something which the assessor is expecting. They're expecting to tell what exactly have you done, what value have you added in that project, what value have you added for your particular company, rather than using the whole team. This is, again, understand, this is not a job application. You're applying for a job. You don't have to showcase your teamwork. You have to showcase your potential, what you have done. Mistake number 3, referees who are too junior or too close. And again, this is a problem which happens with a lot of tech people. They get references of their immediate boss, or they get references of their colleagues, or they get references even of their juniors. Understand, all these letters of recommendation do not matter at all. You need to get something, or you need to get a letter of a C-suite person. It could be CEO, CXO, it could even be vice president level of people, because their position matters and what they write for you matters. Your colleagues can write whatever you want them to write. So assessor, understand this thing as well. Make sure you do not do that. You do not write, you do not waste your letter of recommendations by getting it done from junior level or your own peers. Mistake number 4, evidences that have aged out. If your best achievements are 5, 6 or 7 years old, where you have done amazing work, where you had peaked out, and in the last 4 or 5 years it has been not something very remarkable, this is not going to cut through. Understand, they ask for only last 5 years of experiences, which should be solid, which should have shown that you are continuously building, you are continuously growing, whether for an exceptional talent or for a promising talent. Online only contributions treated as equivalent to in-person ones. So again, this is something which happens a lot. People go to webinars, or they put their own blog posts, they put on their own LinkedIn posts, they create their own YouTube channel, and they create content there. That is not at all validated. All these have to be validated by a third party. On my own LinkedIn post, on my own blog post, I can say I'm the president of United Kingdom. It doesn't matter. So what you have to do is you have to have third party validations. Third party validations will make more credibility for your application here. What actually makes someone stand out? So let's flip the whole scenario here. We have looked at the mistakes, we have looked at some of the red flags. Now let's look at what makes a profile strong and what you need to add in here. So let's look at signal number 1, which is specificity that borders on uncomfortable detail. Let's look at 2 versions. Version number 1, I led significant growth initiatives. Version number 2, I created an API because of which 73% of people started using the product more, and my CAC increased there. Which one would you believe more? Definitely it has to be number 2, where you are putting in more specifically, you are giving more details, you are giving numbers. Do not use generic lines. Be as specific as you can. This is going to help you create more credible application, and the assessor will also know that he is not bluffing. That is a real thing which you have done. And also, when you're writing these numbers, try to prove them with some sort of validation as well. Signal number 2, third party verification for every major claim. We just discussed that as well, is that your own content, your own LinkedIn, your own blog post is not something which is validated. You have to bring in a third party validator. It has to be published on a third party platform, a credible platform. Could be a PR, could be a letter, could be a screenshot, but has to be from a third party. External validation is the best bet on you. So I've seen multiple applications where the revenue is small, but the application is backed up by 30-40 investors saying that we have invested in this person. Whereas there are certain companies, there are certain profiles which we have seen where the revenue is good, they are generating good revenue, but it doesn't get selected because it has not been backed by a third party validation. So third party validation again becomes important whether you are an employee or you are a founder. Signal number 4 is a narrative that's consistent across every single document. And again, this is something which I have felt when I applied for the first time for my application, it got rejected, and I reapplied in 10 days and everything changed here. So everything, your CV, your LOR, your MC, your OC, they all should talk about the same narrative. They all should talk about the same story. It should not be that MC is talking about something else, OC is talking about something else. Everything should lead to one single direction, and that's where you can start seeing all these connections. You can start forming those connections and your application becomes stronger. Signal 5, recency and momentum. So again, what you have done in last 5-6 years matters a lot. It should not be that you have done something 10 years back and currently you're not doing anything, or you're not able to show a growth in your career. That again will not cut through. So you have to show momentum, you have to show recency in your application and the recency in your work as well. Brilliant people who aren't ready yet, and this could be you as well, and this is the biggest challenge and this is the biggest regret which I see when I talk to people. There are smart people, they are good people, but they feel they are not ready yet. They feel they are not confident, and people who are not even good at their jobs, or they have not done as much as good work as you might have done, they apply, they move fast, and they get through this. So understand is that it is also important for you to be prepared for it. Do not leave, do not waste the time. If you think you have 6 months, start building up the profile now. So when you apply, you have some momentum there rather than starting from a blank zero. So here is what I tell to people who fall into this category. If your achievements are real but undocumented, start documenting it from today. Do not wait for next 3 months, 4 months. Start document it from now so that your profile is building from here. If your experience is service-led, either try to move within your company to a product-led role or start working for one of your clients for the product where you can talk about product as well, or think of moving to a new company which is a product-led company where you can start showing your skill. It might take you some more time, maybe more 12 months, 18 months, but your profile will become better. You have higher chances of getting the GTV. If you're speaking and your engagements have only been online, start looking for speaker opportunities in offline environment. Start looking for mentoring on offline. Start going to ILR events as well, where you can talk, where you can create that kind of profile that it is not online but also offline. The people who succeed with this visa aren't necessarily the most talented people I have met. They are the ones who are honest and they've started preparing well. Again, it is not a problem of your talent, it is a problem of positioning, it is a problem of your packaging. And if you feel that you have not been able to package it well, or if not been able to portray your own positioning well, do get in touch with us. You can click on the link below or book a call with us. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.